Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is December the 8th and wow, Donnell, you nailed it with your Quiltmas video. If anybody's in the chat tonight and you've had the opportunity to look at Donnell's Quiltmas video, drop a heart, show her some love in the chat. This was her first time doing it, and I want to make sure that she knows that we all greatly appreciate her joining the team this year, and she's done an amazing job. She's learning her editing, and I'm just very, very proud of her. So with all of that being said, let me get these sleeves rolled up, and we'll get the party started. Sorry I look a hot mess tonight, but evidently Joe and I've picked up some form of a bug when we went to get some testing done this past week for him, and needless to say, we're both a little bit under the weather tonight, so bear with us, please. Michelle Crafton Moore, hello, sweetheart, and welcome. Days in the house, thanks for running the chat. Janine, I hope you're feeling better, honey, and thanks for coming. In Quilt Effect, Debbie, I'm here early, need to get my shake, and I'll be here for the opening. Awesome. Skimming. Joy's in the house. I'm not going to read all the chat tonight. I'm just going to skim, let you guys chat it up. Let me see. Yes, that was Papa Joe in the Santa suit. Yes, that was him. You know, he has to be disguised like that TV show where Mr. Wilson was popping up under the fence. Donna Bogart's in the house. Hello, sweethearts. Yes, please smush the thumbs up. It helps YouTube know that you do like the content that we are putting out, and we humbly appreciate it. Please remember also share the videos for all of your creators. Brenda Foley's in the house. Ho, ho, ho. Let me see. Hi, quilty friends. Karen's in the house. Hello and welcome. Debbie's in the house. Catherine Softkiss from New Hampshire's in the house. And I feel better than you sound. I feel like the truck, like day, I'm going to say. She'd throw me under the bus, and this time I just can't seem to crawl out. Let me see. I'm teasing her. Cheryl, hello. Sewing Wolf, hello. Oh, I am not at work tonight shift, so looking forward to watch it live. Awesome. That's good, Debbie, and thank you for coming. Zaza's in the house. And if I've missed anybody, I humbly appreciate you being here, and I'm sorry if I didn't announce you. It means I just overlooked you, and I don't mean to. So anyway, we started the Scrabble quilt yesterday, and I was able to get it down to the long arm, and I did some pretty cool stuff on it. And tonight we want to wrap it up, so tomorrow while I'm out at a doctor appointment, Joe can drop that in the mail for me. And we can get that off, and maybe, just maybe, they will get it in time for Christmas. So that's the goal. So let's slip down to the table, boss, and I tell you what we're doing. I put a Scrabble board on the back of this project. I think it's quite fitting. And I wanted to put it, because it is a wall hanging, I went ahead and took the liberty. I'm doing the hanging pockets on the side, but it is a little bit heavier than normal. So I want to show you, even though you're using your corners, you don't want to quilt the wall hanging to lag in the center. So what I normally do when I make one is I make a square. It's 8 inches by 8, and then I just sew up the sides to close that seam, and then I will tack this in along the top when I do the border. So that's what this here you're seeing here is, and I'm going to come up both sides, and that will close that before I do the big fold. So what are you guys thinking of Quiltmas? Can you believe it's almost over? It blows me away, all the work that goes in, and we're almost to the end. It's hard to believe. And then the grand giveaway. It's going to be fun. Honestly, it's just going to be fun. So I do press this out. I don't worry about this side where the open seam is because that's going to be hidden when this is attached to the quilt. And that will go up under the binding. It'll be a little bit thicker there, but that's okay. I'm not going, I saw Heather's in the house. Hold on. You ran over yourself, probably. Joe, whoever won those gift bag, the scrap bags, they've been mailed. And I honestly, when you see the postage on the outside, just send it to me because Joe gave me the slip and I don't know whose address was whose. So we'll just leave it at that. Heather's in the house and right away she's getting me. Hold on. Gilladiddy? Gilladiddy or Gildiddy? Gilladiddy. I love the one I watched with Donna. Honestly, I did get access. Okay. So, now we're going to get these ready to hook to the quilt. And the easiest way, I've already done the label and I have it tacked on. And basically, it's just quilted by my name. And they'll get it. And I put 2026. I was going to wait and mail it after Christmas, but I want them to have it early. Handmade by Ying with Donna is the channel name to Andy and Megan Lawson True Grit Appalachian Ways. So I went ahead and bordered around this side because everybody knows I love to hand sew, right? But I'll be able to use the fabric and catch it a little bit easier than I will with this. So let's get this all set up and then we'll get the binding on. I think to the Quiltmas videos, it sounded like 2 words, not 1. May go back and listen again. I don't know. You would have to go back and, if you can't hear it, the transcripts for both the transcripts are turned on for all videos. Easiest way for me to explain. So I make sure that the closed ends are up here in the corners. And I do come down just a little bit. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And I'm going to pin straight through here. I like doing the corners because this is going to make such a nice pocket for the hanging. And then I'll come over to the other side and do the same thing. And don't say dead air tonight. I have to think so I don't stick my fingers. And I want to make sure I get it in nice and tidy. Okay, now the corners are tucked in, and you can measure to be exact, or you can eyeball. I eyeball these because there's 2. It makes it really simple. And the rod that they're going to use is going to come through. I like that it blends really well with the backing, and that just makes it a little bit easier when you're getting ready to tuck all of this in your pins or your friend on this. I would say clip. But honestly, you really need to pin and use sharp ones. And my thin ones are bending, so I might have to pull out my bigger ones. And I leave like about a 3-inch gap in the center. And it looks like about a 3.5 inch here. So I might move this over just a smidge more to line it up a little better. And I'm not sure how you guys do your hangings, but this honestly is a good technique and it works like a charm. And I won't start at the top. I won't do that. Because that's going to be a lot of bulk as I'm coming around the corner and things. I want to always stop on my right. And I can't wait for you to see the quilting. That'll be the fun part. The playlist, yes. Yeah, Joe said it's also in the description box for anybody that needs it. It is there for you. So I'll pull this down about 2 inches from up here. And that will just remind me that's where I got to stop. And honestly, that blends so well. I'm going to go ahead and add a clip just to ensure that I don't catch that as I round that corner and we're coming back down. So let me slide this over. And we're going to get the party started. So I'm still looking for that love for Donna. I didn't see it. There it is. Yeah, I want to make sure you guys show her a lot of love tonight. It's not easy putting yourself out there, and I'm very proud of her. And not only did she get the video done, in the middle of it, she decided to reorganize her sewing room. So she took on a lot in a matter of a couple of weeks. And she did a good job with all of it. And I hope you guys have had a fabulous weekend and you're ready to start your week. And I'm glad you're here starting it with Joe and I. And now here I will back tack this in. Not that there's going to be a lot of pressure there or anything. It's just what I choose to do. And it makes it a little bit nicer when I go to whip stitch it in. I have a good place that I can bury that seam. And to make sure all my corners look nice and tidy. And when I get it turned over, I want you to tell me what you think of the quilting. It was not a rush job, but not a great big job on it either. I slipped here. I knew it did not catch as soon as I felt it. So I need to pop that. It will be all right, honey. He goes, uh-oh. Yeah, I could feel the difference when I come down this side. And I could honestly fudge it in there, but it's not worth it. I would rather do it right the first time. Divide. No, it's mine. I didn't. I had it lined up and then I laid it back down. Oh, okay. Joe said Buttercup got up here and pulled my stitches and moved it. I don't believe that. I call it operator error. I did it myself. So I want to fix it right now. I pinned it and I didn't double check it. Which I should have done. So stop there and pop these out and reset. Then we'll do it all over again. Easy peasy. Just that little bit can throw you off. So I would rather have my date with Jack and fix it. So you're going to have to handle the chat if you see anything. Good. You did a very good job. Are you tacking down the binding on the front of them? Love the backing. I will just sew it right in. When I flip it over, I'll just sew it straight in, and that'll end up really giving the front, I think, a nice border to it to finish it off. Joe said Buttercup's over here hacking, so he thinks he gave her the code too. Or the bug, whatever. So how many of you like doing Scrabble quilts? Have you tried them yet? I tell you what, they are a lot of fun to put together. They make you work your brain. And this is the first time that I really went all out on one. Not that I haven't done good work before on them, but this one I put a little bit extra in. Let me look up. I have not, but I would sure like to. Back again, I hope I didn't miss anything. I haven't done one yet, but I will for Paul and I. Yes, never have, but I might try it. You're going to love it, I tell you what. It's definitely worth the time. Honestly, the hardest part is figuring out how many border panels you would need. I just, like I said before, I ordered 5 of the panels because they only give you so many of the AIOUs, and I wanted to make sure that I had quite enough for any project moving forward that I would be doing these. And then I just sat one day and cut them all out. Squared them down to the 2.5s. Got rid of the blue that was around the outside perimeter because I didn't like that. And ordered me a bunch of 10 Sisters grid, and that's the way I did mine. And part of me says I maybe should have done like a flange binding on this, but it'll be all right. And the Juki takes that thick seams like a champ. Oh, sorry, guys. How many of you are working on month 4 of your spectacle of scraps? Are you enjoying that? This girl can't wait to get all caught up. I have a general idea of the way I want to quilt it, and we'll see how that puppy turns out. I have one quilt loaded on the long arm. I want to turn into a quilt coat if I get a chance before QuiltCon. It's that what they call them, like a chitter quilt with hexes. I think it'll be very, very pretty. But I'm thinking it's been on the long arm now a couple days, on and off, because I keep changing my mind on what I want to do. Part of me says just do feathers. Some of it says use ruler work. I don't know. I'll get it figured out and then run with it. Pop that up and come back down. We'll backpack because that's really heavy there. Pop out that one. Make sure I get this one because it's tucked in now. I just don't like pins hanging out. Somehow I always end up managing to get stuck. So now we're down to where we're going to do the cutoff. And I need my 2.5. I'll just use this one. I'll bring it over here and show you how we do this. Here's where I stuck the pin and I have that wiggle room right here. And I did not leave a whole lot, so this is going to be very tight. So month 4 was fun and I am done. I'll be working ahead as I'm heading out to Florida in January and don't want to be doing much sewing. I get it. So I should have left a good like 4 inches here, so I will pick a little bit of this out. I just want to make sure I have enough room to do that full layover. That makes it easier when you're folding it in. So just pick down a little bit, no biggie. So I'll bring it down, and here is where I will come 2.5. I don't like that one there. So I'll lay this down, keep it as flat as I can, and right here is where it is right now, and I want to have that 2.5 inch, and this is one of the Fallon rulers, and that's why I laid that there. And I'll give it a little mark, and we'll cut that off. That way I'm getting a straight line, and it'll come in really nice. You won't believe what I just did. I cut through the bottom one. Oh. Joseph. Hey, over there, he goes, you didn't do what I think you just did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. No, I don't. There's ways to fix things, Joseph. You just can't sweat the small stuff. I just build this back and remeasure and redo. I didn't realize I had cut the bottom. And that's okay. Stuff happens and it'll be hidden and no one will ever know unless they watch the video. Shh, don't share the video. I can't believe I did that. Cut straight through that. So right there is where my line is. Don't want to do that twice, I'll tell you. Make sure it's tight. And I'm sure no one else has ever done that. That way I don't do it a second time. You can always tell when the girl doesn't feel good, mistakes be made. And we just do our fold over. You make your cross. You have your crease here. And all you're going to do is the left one comes up and the right hand goes down. Easiest way to remember. And I'll stick a pin in it just to help hold it. Then I'll fold all this up into a ball. And we'll come from the top left to the bottom right. Always remember the left. I like to think of when Janine say when we say we lost something, she says it's on the left. 9 times out of 10, she's right. And then before you ever cut it, pull it tight and make sure it lines up the way that you wish for it to. Mine does. I like it a little tight. That way it'll work in and look really nice and tidy. Cut out the bulk and bring it right back under wherever you left off. And you have it in. And I always come down just a little bit past. Let me see. I saw nothing. I'm human. I'll show you my mistakes. Oh, Dad, Christmas. Let me see. It takes the longest to sew the fabric pieces together before adding them. Yep. So I like to pull these out. I forgot to shut my iron off. Halftime. Yep. Halftime. Take a break. Yeah, some people will get them to twist. But they won't if you remember, take the top one and that's your left, so it faces up. And if you can remember, the top one goes to your left hand top face up. And then I'm going to start here and just fold this down. And I always bring my top down and my bottom over. And that gives me the nice, tidy corner. Some people trim out their corners. I don't. I like the fullness that it gives. And then I come straight down the side of that seam. And then I'll stop and I'll work it all the way in. And I'll see if anybody can figure out the design as I'm going along. And then when we get ready to wrap it up, I'll tell you what I put into it. I'm very proud of the quilting on this one. And it measures out 36 by 36. The pin. Anytime I see a pin, I don't want to have bloodshed on this, you know? I made it up in my head. Honestly, that's how this one came about. I made it up. I'm sure there is Scrabble quilts out there, but this one I just did in my head. In the description box of the video, you should be able to find where I bought the Scrabble letters. And I want to say either in Frederick or Hagerstown when Janet was visiting with me. And we stopped, I want to say, I think it was a Target, but don't quote me. And they had bolts of this Scrabble quilt, and we thought it was Miss Mark. And it wasn't. The woman said they were just trying to get rid of it. And we were like, what? And she said, yeah, $2 a bolt. So trust me when I said we got a deal. They were full bolts. And we took it on the retreat and split it with the ones that wanted some. Wanda, you would probably look at the Scrabble board and figure... All I did was went online and got a free Scrabble board pattern, or we bought it. I can't remember. I know I found it over on the Etsy. And it's a blank one. It shows you the color placements. And Joe saves it on his computer, and then anytime I get a order for one, he prints me two. One I write the letters in and move them around and play with it, and then one I do in black. That way, as I'm doing my letters and I decide the way I wish to do it, it's already ready to go. And like I said, once you've done one, you're nervous the first one. I did it on the dining room table, and I couldn't believe how big it was. And I was like, oh my goodness. this is too big. And then when I sewed it all up, I was like, now I get it. Because you don't realize how much you lose as you're sewing the 10 Sisters grid. Top border is lovely, embroidery. Yeah. I will show you the whole quilt in just a second. I put a lot into this one, a lot of extra that I normally wouldn't do. But these are good. Not that anybody's not good people, but this touched my heart in such a way. I don't know how to explain it. So I wanted to go a little bit extra. And customize it just for them. So I think that when they get it, they'll be a little extra surprised that so much detail has went into theirs. And this is not an order from them. This is a blessing to them. And sometimes in life, the Lord lays it on your heart to bless someone. And we try to do that at the end of the year. And this is the ones we're blessing this year. And I really feel good about this project. Cut that string off, and then I'll be able to open it up and really give you a good view. So shut the machine off and I show you. And hopefully you can see some of what I've done with it. My mom loves Scrabble. I'll read all the chat in just a second. But I want to make sure that you're able to see. Maybe you can see what I've put in. If you can see what I've quilted into it, let me know. Yeah. And there's four family members. The mom, there's 4 families in it. So the bottom left hand side, let me get in my lap. I padded that one as the husband and the wife. I stuffed that just a little bit. Yeah, I put praying hands in it. And I thought, boy, that would be something different. And I've not gotten to see that done before. So I took extra pillow stuffing and put up in a few sets of the hands so they would stand out just a little bit for them. So how do you think it turned out? Do you think they'll like it? Something cool, right? Oh, Joe said I have a big delay tonight. Let me see. Excuse me. Praying hands, yeah, just something different. And I wanted to make sure because they're like we are, you know, the old time Pentecostal. And they're just very good people. And I wanted to bless them. They will love it. So sometime after the first of the year, slip over and see if you can spot it on their channel. Because sometimes Megan, she'll say a subscriber sent, and then she'll show stuff. I love it. Yeah, I want to do one with our family. I just haven't taken the time yet to do one for us. You always want to make sure the family's done growing, right? Otherwise, you have to figure out a way to add to. So with this, I also made them a set of kitchen towels with their initials on. So that'll be different. Super gorgeous. Thank you. So guys, it's been fun with you guys tonight. And I'm sorry I'm going to end early. We just really are calling it an early night tonight. I have an early doctor in the morning, and I want to get to feeling better. So you guys, thank you so much for coming. Please don't forget, watch my Quiltmas video tomorrow night. Joe put a lot of spins to it. And I think you're going to like it. And it's not... All I can say is we put a lot of ourselves in this one. So it'll be kind of cute. Take care, God bless, and have a fabulous evening. Bye-bye, guys, and thanks for coming.